Hey, Game Masters. I've really enjoyed watching a number of the previous videos you've done. You guys do rank as one of the happiest, smiliest teams I've ever seen.
Good, very
No
good.
question.
We might be ignorant, I
Right.
guess. Maybe that's what it
Well,
is. So I'm Jadu, and this is Matt.
I think you know my background is about, raising money, working with entrepreneurs to be in sync with the opportunities of raising money. And the book I wrote recently notes a lot of that. You've said you've got some questions regarding raising money and how you fit into the opportunities as such. And I know you are, of course, looking to raise money. So why don't you guys start off and ask me some questions about the process or anything you think may be appropriate?
Sure. Well, something that's kind of come to our attention while we've been working with some potential investors is when they want to be able to see a certain level of growth. For us, we have a product that we can bootstrap to a certain extent on the front end and keep the lights on, and that helps us kind of get through some of the early development, work out the bugs. But obviously, investors want to see scalability. But you obviously, as an angel investor and working with a lot of angel investors, I kind of want to understand like when you expect to see that huge blow up, or is that something you want to see right away when you put in the money, or is that something you expect to see a year down the
Okay,
road,
so
or
let me
what are your
jump in.
thoughts?
First of all, there's different types of angel investors. We're not all created equal. Some angel investors love the risk. They share your vision early, they see the opportunity, and as you use the word scale, they see clearly where the scalability is. So you, however, as entrepreneurs, have a responsibility of raising money at the rightest time that meets your objectives. So where do those two fall into the same place? You're investor raising, you're not just money raising. So you have to find those investors that are in line or aligned with your interests at your point in time. So, as equity, you sell your equity to an angel investor. They buy it. The question is, what's its value? The best value of an entrepreneur's equity is when you've got traction. And in many cases, you've de-risked, I'm repeating that, the opportunity for the angel investor for their investment to make money because you've proven you've got customers who are willing to pay for it. So there are angel investors who love early risk, high risk. That comes with a generally lesser valuation. If you want to wait strategically to raise money and have traction, you'll raise money at a higher valuation. That's a time question, and it's obviously a situational one relative to the raising of money. But please be aware that you still have to be a scalable business. Historically, that's what angel investors look for, a fast growth business. In your case, I've gone online, I've checked out the app, I've looked at what you're doing, and it's hard to clearly see the kind of scalability that many angel investors need to look for. So I hope I've answered your question, but again, I'm following up with the question. Show me as an angel
Great.
investor where and how it becomes scalable.
Yeah, I think you bring up a great point. Our product today, like we were kind of mentioning at the front end of this conversation, is not where it's going to be in the long haul. The big vision is that we want to make this an app that represents brands from all across the country, big brands that are doing big campaigns. There's big venues that are doing quests in their places that are kind of geared more towards like guest satisfaction, guest experience, fan experience. So there's brands, there's sports that are using this on a regular basis. Today, we have a working prototype that we've built and have launched on the App Store. But it's obviously, as far as the market, we haven't got to the place where we've actually been able to tap those large brands yet. So today, when you look at it, what you see is the functionality of a game, but you don't see really the usage that we're working on building today, but won't be there until we get to a certain point. As we're working
Okay,
on that,
so
we're
so
just
so
not
I
there yet.
understand you function as a campaign type product. So you get a brand, let's use a scenario, right? Let's make it real. You call Procter and Gamble.
Okay,
We have this
right.
cool new game experience. Everything's an experience. You want to engage your customers in new opportunities to learn more about your product. So we need to create a journey for them. And your journey appears to be very much based around questions, and I'm not sure how much of it is GPS location based, finding things and so on. I couldn't see that on some of the app scenarios that you had on the app. But that is a one-off every single time you pick up the phone and call Procter& and Gamble or BMW or any other major brand. They have to go to either the app to find some instructions to do it themselves, or someone is creating it
Hmm.
for them. Who actually creates it? And that gets in the way of the scalability part, if you can explain that quickly.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Great points. One, you're right on. Today, someone has to make that, and that group is us. But what the scalability and how we think we grow this and it looks like probably a year down the road is we're working on creating tools basically to be able to license our technology. And it looks a lot like what the App Store looks like. If you want to create an app for Apple, you have to download their developer toolkit, and that you have to pay for that as a developer. And then you go and you create your content, and then you sell it. Apple keeps a piece of it, and you keep the majority of that. That's basically what we want to do down the road. Um, some of our competitors in the past have basically made their tools open to everyone right off the bat for free. And what it actually ends up doing is creating a lot of not fun content. None of it's fun, none of it's good. We want to spend the first year of our company creating content that's really good with really great brands. And it's basically a library of all of these great
Got it.
experiences.
I like to be very clear and very pointed. Angel investors look at a company like yours and get worried. They get worried because there's so much time and effort in the relationship building to the brand. The brand is a campaign-based relationship. We've got something, we're going to try it. So they kick tires,
Yes.
right? And they try it and they use it. And then it has to be done again and again and again. And if they have to keep coming back to you guys to do all of the work, that's really hard to do. And you have to know their business, right? You just can't do it in a cursory way. So that's all. You're on the road of a very challenging, but I mean it's certainly useful, but a very challenging angel
Mm-hmm.
interest investment. Very challenging.
Yes, well, we've discovered that there are several folks in our area who understand this on a big level for certain types of programs and venues today, and so that's where the ability to be able to do it within the sporting realm, fan entertainment, and things like that. Minor league baseball is a backer in our area, as well as college sports. That's an experience where we do have to know their space and go back over and over, but it's also a
And
seasonal type
you've
campaign.
really
So there's
you
just
really hit
one
on it.
aspect
You have
of that.
intellectual capital and knowledge that you're going to have to expend in each one of these marketplaces. And if you spread yourselves out, I'm sure you realize this. If you target just one particular market, sports is huge unto itself. It could be just simply hockey within sports, and you become
Right.
the go-to environment to create these journeys among a fan base. I think focusing is certainly valuable. It's hard to when you're a young company because you're not sure where the energy is going to come from. But there's no doubt that you'll be able to leverage all the knowledge that you'll have in any one sector to be able to create for brands a relationship to that sector, right? So that you can get them up and running on your
Absolutely.
app faster than you ordinarily would if you spread yourself
Yeah.
all over the place. I mean, it seems to make sense, right?
Right,
Yeah.
Now, is
right.
the experience mostly about questions and answers? Explain that to me. Or
No, it is today because of the prototype, the way the prototype is. We've been working on this prototype since March of this year, and the experience moving forward can be very integrated. We're talking with several street festivals in our area that really have or a trade show type environment where it is code based, where it is location based. Like you mentioned, you saw that there, but that's not prominent right now, as well as the big vision, of course, campaign based. So it can be based on many other things rather than just
okay,
questions.
it seems very clear to me that you need an advertising agency partner who already has the brands in their pocket. So if I were you, right, and you're two bright, happy guys, I really love watching you. Um, I would find I would find ad agencies that are looking to present new, wonderful, fun experience tools to their own clients whose big brands are looking for more social engagement. That's the way it seems to
Yeah.
work best. And they'll employ you. They'll work with you. They'll want to make sure that it all happens in a wonderful, financially well organized package so everybody gets paid nicely for the work that's done. So I would find some social driven, most are of course, some are better than others, but certainly within a vertical market that you decide on, and work with an ad agency or two or three and see how you can begin to get more traction. They'll probably pay you for development costs, right? It'll be all part of their budget. And you're really in research and development now. So take advantage of that and leverage it. So on that note, I kind of enjoyed, the idea of what you're doing. I believe in what you're doing. There's no question. Creating conversation, creating that kind of engagement is what the brands want. And you can do this based on the execution, I believe, on working with agencies first and getting into their clients and working with their brands. Great. Good to meet you guys. What a pleasure.
We appreciate it, Brian. All right. Good to see
Thank
again.
you.